It's Wednesday morning. Glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. Hope that you're staying warm, that your day is off to a good start. Your day actually might be off to a later start for you.
Yeah, you're lucky if that's the case because we have those sub-zero temperatures all across central Indiana this morning. 6 o'clock on your Wednesday. And we do want you to be aware, a lot of schools on delays this morning, and many of them that typically we don't see that
Right,
often.
and I think there are a lot of districts where the parents, you know, they've been used to this because we had the 2 winter storms. And then there are others now where IPS, 2-hour delay. Most of the metro schools, 2-hour delay. So a lot of you are going to have to figure out some short-term childcare for this morning because of the weather. I'm trying to delay showing you these temperatures. I don't want to do it anymore and you want to see it, but this is reality, baby. 1 below. That's the air temperature in Indianapolis. Carmel, you're at 3 below. Martinsville and Greenwood at 2 below. But by far the coldest part of our viewing area, right along I-70 near the Ohio border, where Richmond is at 6 below this morning and Connorsville is at 5 degrees below zero. It's also 5 below in Newcastle this morning. Take a look at these wind chills that you're gazing at here. It feels now like 17 degrees below zero in Indianapolis. Newcastle is at 15 below wind chill. Just about 10 minutes ago, the wind chill in Newcastle was 20 below zero. So folks, it's dangerously cold out there. 20 to 30 minutes, exposed flesh can be frostbitten. So make sure you wear your hat and your gloves and your scarf. And let me tell you, it's going to feel really cold this morning because check out the potential wind gusts that we're looking at. 22 miles per hour here, up to 32, 33 mile per hour gusts in the northwest part of our viewing area, including Frankfort and Lafayette, over towards Fowler and Kokomo this morning. And as you look at the temperatures widespread, you'll notice that everybody, with the exception of Terre Haute and Lafayette, the air temperature is below zero. So just hang in there this morning. These wind chills are going to be with us for a while. Lebanon's just kicking in now with an 18 degree below zero wind chill. Dry will be up into the double digits by lunchtime and then eventually a high of 22 degrees. Yes, that is a lot warmer than now, but it's still 14 degrees below average. Much more on this and a potential warming trend for the weekend in minutes. But let's get over to traffic. And boy, it's tough enough just getting the car started, much less than the accidents out there.
Yeah, we are actually starting out pretty good. I wanted to show you our road weather index because just think if we had a little moisture in the area.
Oh my gosh, this would be brutal.
With those kind of temperatures, it would be brutal. But I did want to remind you that the road actually does have a temperature. It does not have a wind chill. In order for a wind chill to be registered, you have to have that on something that can feel, like us as humans with our exposed skin. If you're not wearing gloves, you're going to feel that wind chill. The road doesn't feel that. But with that being said, we are still seeing the road surface temperatures across the metro reported near zero. So that does mean the patchy black ice is going to be a possibility, especially on these on and off ramp systems, elevated surfaces, bridges and overpasses. That is where we could potentially see some of that leftover ice on our roads that could cause some slick driving conditions. Here's a look here at I-70 near Harding Street on the near south side of town. We're actually getting along pretty smoothly, but be patient with your vehicles this morning. Our engines are going to be a little sluggish, and just remember that you're going to need at least about a half a tank of gas to keep things safe on cold mornings like this. We'll keep you posted if we see any issues on the roads.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. It doesn't take long for these cold conditions to get dangerous, so know what to look for when it comes to frostbite. Some people don't. Red, pale skin, feelings of numbness, even muscle stiffness and blistering if it's severe. So if you notice any of these symptoms, you want to act quickly, even get medical attention if you think you need to. Try to get to a warm area. You can use warm water, but not hot water. That might feel like it's better, but it's not. NOAA advises people not to use any artificial heat sources like a heater or any direct heat if you think you have frostbite, because you could burn yourself without realizing it. Well, now to an update this morning on new documents found in the Delphi murders case. As we reported yesterday morning, there's a new push now to overturn Richard Allen's conviction.
His attorneys are now citing major errors they say could have changed the outcome of Allen's trial. Our Matthew Foltz has been looking over the filings that include new evidence that we've actually never seen before, Matthew.
Yeah, Julie and Jalea, this new motion filing is more than 20 pages long, and in it, we're now seeing Allen's defense team referring back to reports of a confession made in 2017 that the girls were actually cut with just one box cutter. Now, the defense wrote that for years, the doctor who performed the autopsies believed that there were two weapons used in the murders. Now, Allen's attorneys say that during the trial, the same doctor said that a single box cutter could have been used instead of two. The defense says that matches a reported confession made by a man named Ron Logan back in spring of 2017. The motion includes handwritten notes from a prison inmate who says he heard that confession from Logan. He wrote down Logan confessed to killing the girls with a box cutter and burning his clothes in a fire pit. Now, Allen's attorneys believe that if the doctor had said that 7 years ago, or earlier, I should say, it would have been probable cause to arrest and charge Ron Logan with the girls' murders. Now, it's just one of the 4 issues the defense is bringing up in this new motion that 13 News dug through. It's important to keep in mind that this motion to correct errors is actually separate from the appeal, which is expected to be filed by newly appointed attorneys for Allen. We're not sure when that will happen, but we do know that could happen here soon. Now, we told that process itself could take over a year and a half. So lots of information to dig through. We have all this at WTHR.com. Meanwhile, you hear from a former prosecutor and his thoughts on all this at 6:30.
Well, we just hoped we had put this to rest, but still more to come. Thank you, Matthew.
Well, in just a few hours, the trial will resume for a man accused of killing an Indianapolis woman. That man, is already convicted for multiple murders across the country. But now Bruce Mendenhall accused of killing Karma Purpura, who disappeared in July of 2007. She was last seen near Mendenhall's semi-truck at the Flying J truck stop at the Harding Street exit off of I-465. It's on the south side. Prosecutors argue that Mendenhall shot and killed Purpura with a rifle that he kept in his truck. A detective in Nashville, Tennessee, later discovered evidence while investigating another woman's death.
I pulled the bag open, I looked inside the bag, and I saw what was obviously, to me, to be blood. There was a lot of blue napkins in there that were blood-soaked. There was a lot of clothing in there that was blood-soaked. I could see a pair of women's Croc shoes, and what appeared to me to be women's clothing, all blood-soaked.
Purpura's clothes, her phone, and ATM card were also found in that bag. Her body was found along a Kentucky highway about 4 years later. Mendenhall is already serving 2 life sentences for killing 2 women in Tennessee.
Well, this morning we are checking to see if charges have yet been filed against a man accused of shooting his estranged wife and killing her unborn baby. This happened Sunday night near East Raymond Street and Garfield Park in Indianapolis. The victim was 5 months pregnant at the time. Police tell 13 News she was shot multiple times in the abdomen but survived. Her family members shared on social media, though, she had surgery and lost her unborn child.
Losing a child, an unborn child, the trauma to always probably have fear of that person, that suspect that's been arrested, shooting at her, going through the physical recuperation. It's just trauma that nobody should have to go through ever.
Police found the woman's estranged husband not long after the shooting with the help from the community and license plate cameras. Arresting documents also reveal the suspect admitted to police he planned the crime over several days. He's due back in court Friday morning.
This morning, a 4-year-old is recovering after being shot by a 9-year-old sibling. Police say this happened last Saturday night at a home on Milton Street. Investigators tell 13 News that older child found the gun inside of the house and then shot the toddler. We reached out to investigators about possible arrests or charges, and when we hear back, we'll pass along their responses. A Marion man is taking a plea deal in the death of an Indiana State police officer in 2023. Master Trooper James Bailey was killed while on duty in DeKalb County. Police say that Terry Sands II was involved in a chase with Fort Wayne police when he hit the trooper. Sands has pleaded guilty to resisting law enforcement and aggravated battery. He'll be sentenced on February 27th.
Well, this morning, the park superintendent for the city of Frankfort is resigning. Joel Tatum is stepping down from the post as city leaders investigate multiple animal deaths at TPA Park Zoo and Aviary in Frankfort, which is about an hour north of Indianapolis. Last week, they confirmed the deaths of 2 deer and 2 chickens. The mayor says there are plans in place to talk about the future of the Parks Department and measures to improve wildlife safety. Well, right now, leaders at the Humane Society for Hamilton County are putting out a desperate plea for fosters. The shelter is dealing with a broken heater right now at all times, so they are having to rehome some dogs right now because 11 kennels and cages have a dual indoor-outdoor entrance. So even though it's closed, without the heat, it just gets too cold for the animals.
We are asking the community to please come in and foster some of our dogs so that we can play a little bit of Tetris and move some of these 11 dogs into heated areas of the building.
So they do have a range of dogs to choose from, big, small, old, and young. They will stay open a little longer today for anyone willing to volunteer and temporarily foster for a few days. And just hang in there, right, Chuck? We'll
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Protect the paws on your puppies, right? And also protect the people you love. 3 below zero right now. That is the temperature in Carmel. This cold weather advisory in effect for our entire viewing area until 10 o'clock this morning. Your forecast is encouraging. It's coming up.
And this morning,